So with that being said, I'll hand it over to Damond. Thanks, Damond.
Hey, thanks, Morgan. Appreciate the introduction, and hello, everyone. Thank you so much for joining us today. We are super excited that you've taken time out your very busy days as brokers to hop on and join us and learn a little bit more about Attune. And we're so excited that you decided to join us and to join the Attune family. And so let's get started. First, I just want to go over a brief agenda with you. We'll talk about some of our offerings, some of our appetite overview with our products. We'll do a portal demo, and we'll also have some tips for success, and there'll be a time for Q&A. But I do want to just let you know that this is a pretty much high-level overview. So it won't be super detailed. It won't have every little thing that you need answered today, but I want to encourage you. We have a great chat team waiting and available for you to answer some of your more detailed questions and specific questions, and whether it's around appetite or anything of that nature, coverage, they'll definitely be able to help you. But today, as my role is, I'm your host, I'm going to take you through some of the high level material. So just a quick brief introduction about myself, about me. I am Senior Account Manager. I've been with Attune now for a little bit over 2.5 years. Now, my job function as a Senior Account Manager is that I oversee the relationship as a main point of contact here at Attune. Now, when you first join Attune, you may not have an account manager. You'll have a rep assigned to you, but after showing some production and being engaged in our portal, you can be assigned an account manager. I assist in developing production strategy as well. And overall, I am our broker's advocate. Sometimes there might be a gray area. You might need someone to go to bat for you over a policy or better understanding or clarity. That's what my role is. Some of my previous experience was actually around banking and wealth management, as well as strategy. Some of my former companies I've been at was Morgan Stanley and also PwC Pricewaterhouse. And favorite food, I just want to put this out there. One of my favorite foods is shrimp. I love shrimp. I love fried shrimp. I love shrimp scampi. I don't know, kind of Forrest Gump of me, huh? But that's who I am. And thank you so much for joining. So let's get started talking a little bit about Attune, right? First thing, you have to understand that our clients are brokers. We don't do, thank you, Brenda. Yes, shrimp is the best. Our clients are brokers. We don't do any direct to consumer because we realize the important role that your experience and expertise plays in the insurance process. We really stand out. Why? How? Because we have paperless underwriting. That means no accord forms, no loss runs required, no waiting period to hear back from underwriters. The entire quote to bind process takes around 5 to 10 minutes. And after that, your customers are directly billed. We also auto renew our coverage. So that's very important. So if your client chooses not to market their program at renewal, you save time by not having to fill out a new application. They would simply just be directly billed. That's right. So you have a policy with us, it's time for renewal, it's already taken care of. Unless you need to make some changes, just make sure that your client makes payment. So that's very exciting, saving you time that you can spend on your customers and start developing business. So we try to make the renewal process as seamless as possible so you can put more time back in your day actually going after new business, all right? So that's our overview there. Next slide. Coalition and Attune. Coalition and Attune. Now, you may have seen this and heard about this. Most recently, we joined forces with Coalition. And for those of you who are not familiar with Coalition, they are actually a leading cyber insurance and security tech company. Combined, now, we are the world's largest commercial insurtech provider, which we are super excited about. So the goal is to continue to diversify our insurance offerings and create even better technology to make your lives life's easy and become your one-stop shop for all of your small business commercial insurance needs. So that's our goal. Next slide. Now, product offerings, okay? We currently have 6 products on our platform, plus a newly launched 7. So our first 3 products are shown here. And when we originally launched, we had a bot with Blackboard, which is an AIG company. And all of our products are A-rated and admitted and offer full binding authority for you on the portal. The underwriting is done through our technology with a live team behind the scenes. But the advantage to you is that by utilizing our technology, the entire process from inputting basic account information and selecting your coverage and clicking bind takes less than 10 minutes, right? So it's really great. Additionally, our bot actually offers coverage for up to 500 classes in 48 states, and that includes wind and hail. We also provide excess coverage with core specialty, and this is along with our other products that can be bundled to achieve cost savings, right? Which is super, super exciting there. We can provide up to $5 million in excess limits, and whenever you are bundling, there are no separate applications for each coverage. So that means if you're on the portal and you would like excess or something of that nature, you don't get transported to something, another portal, right? You simply click it and we use the information you've already placed in to help underwrite and provide you that excess policy. Which is exciting. So once you enter the account information and basic exposure, you can pick and choose which coverage you want to include. So very exciting there. Next slide. Also, when it comes down to some more product offerings, we have our workers' compensation here, which is done through employers. It's admitted, A- rated. It is competitive commission, over 500 classes available in 46 states, full binding authority with online audit. So our workers' comp partner is employers. We encourage everyone, take advantage of workers' comp. Though the service model may look a little different once you bind the workers' comp policy, due to our partnership, it's just a very, very good upsell that you can do with many of your insureds, and you can simply just start that process right through our portal. We also are excited to offer both GL and PL through our carrier partner, Hiscox. Some may be already directly appointed with Hiscox, but if not, through your Attune appointment, you will have access to Hiscox. Again, this is an admitted paper. These are monoline options that you have. There's no deductible. Blanket AI is available at no cost, available in 49 states, and up to $25,000 in BPP. What is exciting about this is that we understood that everyone doesn't need a BOP product. Everyone doesn't need that package. So the GL and PL really have become solid answers for many of our brokers. Morgan, if you can go back up to the previous slide real quick, I want to make sure I also touch on, I did not mention our flood insurance that we have through our carrier partner, Neptune. These are risks written across all flood zones. 90% of the time is cheaper than NFIP. Up to $500,000 in contents coverage and up to $25,000 in business interruption coverage. What's really, really cool about this flood option is that in the portal, which we will see later on, you will see that every account that you insert into our portal will populate a flood quote automatically, a preview quote, because that is simply based on the location of the business. So it's just a great way to have our brokers empowered to offer flood and to initiate the conversation with many of the insureds that may not actually be thinking about flood. All right, we can move on. Let's talk about coverage by industry. So speaking a little bit about coverages, here is an overview of some popular classes in which our products can cover that industry. So while we don't write general contractors, we can cover a range of artisan contractors, right? Like painters and plumbers and electricians, interior remodelers. We cover offices and processing services like doctor offices, nail salons, beauty parlors, accountants, etc., across all of our products. And another important thing to note is that we can write restaurants for our BOP Plus, our workers' comp, our GL, and for all of our BOPs with accredited and Blackboard currently right now. We can write new venture restaurants, which I also think is exciting. In fact, we can write new venture risks across all classes of business for our BOP Plus with accredited. So our BOP Plus with accredited, that's across all classes of businesses, okay? So that is exciting there. Next slide. So let's talk about our business owner's policy and excess liability overview. Quick appetite overview. So our BOPs include both the GL and property coverage, and also includes business interruption and liquor liability, depending on the class of business. So you can add coverage for installation, tools, and equipment. You can also add BPP up to $25,000, EPL coverage on the BOP Plus, electronic data, and employee dishonesty. Target classes for our BOP include LROs, and they have to be 100% commercial. So let me just stop here. LROs is something where we have become very competitive on, and I've seen many of our brokers really take advantage of this, but unfortunately, there is no mixed use. We don't have any appetite for any type of HAB exposure. And all of the tenants of that LRO have to be BOP eligible. So that means, you can't have a church and a school and a daycare center. All the other tenants might be great, but that one ineligible tenant could make the entire opportunity risk ineligible. But other than that, LROs are very, very competitive with that. And we do offices, carpenters, painters, electricians, lawyers, just tons of classes there when it comes down to LROs. Next slide. A workers' comp overview. Again, 75% of US businesses falls within employers' appetite. Yes, Brenda, no HAB exposure. With workers' comp, of course, 75% of US business falls within employers' appetite. It's available in 45 states and DC. Stopgap coverages aren't available, and applicants with over $50,000 annual premium are subject to a referral, all right? Some of the highlights include cash flow assistance, anti-fraud programs, 24/7 multilingual claim handling experience, which is very important, off-site transitional duty and return to work program, association partnerships, and loss control support, okay? So very, very exciting there. Again, many may have already have access to Employers Direct. I do get that. And you can decide which works best for you. But it is great to be able to just have a portal system that while you're quoting the BOP, that you can also select workers' comp and go through that workflow as well on the same portal. And it's great to have those things just bundled together. So it is a huge plus there. Let's go on to our GL and PL overview. As mentioned, PL and GL are provided through Hiscox. They can be purchased monoline or bundled with other products. We can cover over 180 classes of businesses with revenues up to $5 million. So these products are unique in that they are new venture and startup friendly, right? We can provide up to $5 million in limit upon request. And with endorsements, we can offer up to $25,000 in BPP, primary and non-contributory wording and waiver of subrogation and hired and non-owned auto, all depending on the class of business. Again, we also include blanket AI coverage without additional premium. Target classes here that you might want to think about are engineers and artisan contractors, consultants. I've seen that successful quite a bit with our brokers. Also health, beauty, and fitness, janitorial, landscaping, even tutors, that math tutor, that paint art instructor, right? That person given music lessons. This becomes a great opportunity for you to really increase what it means to provide business, what it means to provide insurance for small businesses, and something classes you may have never thought about. So very cool there, very exciting. Next slide. The Neptune flood insurance overview. One of our recently launched products is this commercial flood insurance product that is with Neptune, which some of you may be aware of already, but we are particularly excited about this given some of the changes to NFIP that have just happened. Neptune, like us, is also a tech-based insurance company that offers super fast quoting, which I kind of gave you the benefit of that earlier. And this has the benefit of using AI to accurately underwrite. They are unique in that they don't require elevation certificates. I think I hear that a lot from our brokers, our elevation certificates required. No, not here. And we can offer up to $4 million in building coverage as compared to NFIP. This product can also be bundled with other products that you may be getting and that you can just add. And I think I went over on how this looks on the portal, how it's so quick to get a preview quote there. And this product is available in every state except Alaska and Kentucky, and they write in all flood zones. So this could be a great option. I hear a lot of times from our brokers, when speaking about flood, they said we don't use flood, no, flood's not important. And a lot of times that's because insureds are not demanding it, they're not asking for it. But I encourage all of our brokers, hey, if you have a preview quote sitting in front of you, why not tell the insured that they do have a quote for flood and maybe that cost might be attractive. So that's something that could be super, super exciting there. And so that's flood. So let's move on.
Hey, Damon, before we move on, I just have a question from Frank in the Q&A here. Frank asked, do you provide profiling sheets I can use when talking with prospects for the different needs, or even a general sheet to profile?
Yeah, so not necessarily profile sheets, but we do have marketing resources specifically for the different products that you might want to overview and trying to see if this is a good fit. We don't have a profile sheet. When I'm thinking about profile sheet, I guess that's something that you're actively filling out per se. That's something we do not have, but we do have marketing resources for everything I'm talking about today that could definitely be leveraged during your conversation with the insured. But I would say that might be a good idea, and it is noted.
Yeah, and I'll also just to add to that, Damon's going to go through a portal demo more momentarily, and you'll be able to see, like, if you're like, oh, I have this client that looks like it might be a good fit for Attune, but I'm not sure if they want BOP, workers' comp, GL, PL, you'll be able to input all the information, and then it'll give you a list in our portal of all the products that risk is eligible for based on the information that you gave. So, if you're like, oh, my client's really interested in a bunch of these, they might not even be eligible for one of them. And so it'll kind of help you figure it out as you go along.
Yep. Thank you so much, Morgan. Thank you. Now it's time for our portal demo. I just want to go over some of the portal features before I actually get into the demo. Portal feature, help center, right? So there's full binding authority, there's 0 forms required, and there's data-driven underwriting, right? It's service made easier. All of the endorsements are self-service, direct billing. There's ways for you to look at your invoices and to organize yourself with your insureds and see what invoices are coming up, what invoices are overdue. You can make calls on them to make sure that your insureds are staying insured. And there's quick responses from the portal. There's a live chat function. You can call us, but we really encourage that live chat function. And there's also a service option where you can simply, any service need, there's no emailing us or anything, any service need, you can actually request it right in the portal, whether it's getting a new login because you can't you have a new employee that's joining your agency and they need a login, you can request that right from the portal. Or maybe it's an endorsement, or maybe it's requiring loss runs, asking for loss runs, because maybe it's being remarketed. Everything is done right in the portal. There's no need to email. Now, of course, once you get an account manager, you can email them, but there's no need to email us. Everything is right in the portal, and that way it is routed to the person that is most suitable to take care of it. So I'm going to now do a portal demonstration. And let me see if I can share my screen here. Okay. Morgan says I'm disabled. There we go. You're on mute.
There you go.
Okay. Okay, let's see here. This is it, right? Yes. Let's see. Okay. Share that. Can you see that, Morgan?
Yep, you're good.
Okay, great, great. So you're logging on, and you might see all of this on the side here. We're going to go right into creating a new account. But before I do that, I'm just going to quickly just show you what I meant by the support help center, since it's right here. Submit an email request. No need to type in an email and send it to us manually. Anything that you need help with from your agency, to any policy questions, endorsing a policy, billing, quoting and binding, anything right here that you might need help with is already available. And if you don't see it, just hit other, okay? All of our guidelines, this is very important as well, that as you begin, especially as a newer broker on our platform, begin to quote and bind, which we're excited to have you do. Make sure that your team has all of our guidelines. This is very important. And that way you can just hurry up and pull it up and do a quick PDF search if there's something specific around an appetite that you may not know if we covered or not, and you just want a quick response. This could be a great way. So I would definitely keep all of these handy here, okay? Invoices, I think I told you about that. Once you click on invoices, all of these can come up and you can see all the different invoices. Again, these are just an example, but as you can see, you can do all the paid ones, the billed ones, and make sure that everyone's on point. But let's go to accounts. So I have a prospect. I have an insured that I think Attune will be a great fit for. So I hit new client here. And here we're just going to type in our company name, which I'm gonna put Sal's Rec Inc. Okay. And we do business as Sal's Sports. Okay. Just putting it there, right? We're located, let's say, at 2020 Broadway, New York. That's Upper West Side, if you don't know. All right. A detailed description of the operation. Now, listen, some brokers skip over this, but I do want to let you know it might be good sometimes to put that in there if you like. It is optional, but if underwriting for some reason comes back with any type of questions, maybe it's something that, maybe there's something in the name that you think might seem like it's not a good fit for Attune. Maybe the name is misleading of the business, and you want to make sure that you're explaining to us that, hey, I know it says this, but this is not what it is. These are the operations. That might actually help, okay? Sal Sports is a sporting good. So as you can see, we're doing a description of business. As you type, it populates sporting goods store. So I'm just gonna hit that there. And remember what Morgan mentioned earlier, that once you put in the description of the business, it lets you know what's actually eligible. So as you can see here, it's a BOP. We'll talk about that later. BOP, workers' comp. All right. As you can see, it's GLPL is not eligible there for it. So, but we're going to do a BOP quote. So I'm going to hit get a quote for BOP. This is also great that, especially as newer brokers on our platform, please read over these, because this really helps to make sure there are no post-bind challenges or post-bind obstacles. Make sure that you understand that, hey, it's not past 1 a.m. or it's ineligible. read through these, because these are just very basic, high level type of eligibility requirements that will really help. Okay, so if you know, for an example, applicants who have had more than 3 claims in the past 5 years are ineligible. While we do not require you to send over loss runs at the time of quoting, it'll be very important for you to ask that question, because if for some reason our system finds out that there was a claim in the past 5 years and those, or there was a single claim exceeding $20,000, or if we did a random web review and we found out that, hey, they actually stay open till 3 a.m. in the morning, that will create a post-buying issue, and that's something we do not want. We try to give you as much authority as possible, but with that authority comes a level of accountability and responsibility to ensure that you are familiar with some of these guidelines, all right? And that's why every time you quote, this will pop up and you will say, I've read and confirmed that, okay? We hit next. It is in New York State. It's a corporation. Let's say we've been in business for 14 years. 2020 Broadway, it is the location business address, confirm it there. When we first entered the address, it was actually the mailing address. This right here is confirming that this is the brick and mortar location, okay? And then we're going to hit next. And it's what the system is doing is getting, actually is using AI, is using data analytics AI to get all of the information we have on that particular building, and you'll see, okay? So if for some reason this was not eligible due to crime score, due to the building is just not a good fit, it would have stopped you there. You wouldn't have got to this point, and that's a very good thing, because we don't want to waste your time. You fill out all these forms, applications, it gets sent off, and you get a rejection back, a declination. This right here, if this was an area where crime score was too high, it will stop you right there and it will tell you, hey, unfortunately, we can't move on. So that's actually a really good thing I love about the portal. So employees at this location, we're going to say it's 9 employees, all right? All other pearls, I'm going to keep this at $1,000. But if for some reason you may say, hey, what are they really at? What does this really cover? What does this mean? This is a great feature right here. Right, it explains what all other perils deductible for this location applies. So property claims caused by peril, unless a different deductible is specific for that peril, for example, like wind and hail. So this is very great, and you'll see this throughout, that you're able to just hover over the question mark and get a little better insight. We're going to hit next. Okay, this is not a lesser's risk, but if it was a lesser's risk, you definitely want to hit yes, okay? But it's not a lesser's risk, so we're going to hit no. It is a mercantile. Always double check this. And this is based upon the information I've already put in. It's kind of pre-filling some things out for me already. The business classification is sporting goods, athletic equipment stores. This is building limit, BPP or whatnot. I can just put BPP. I'll say it's $450,000. Yeah, I'll put 450,000. Again, this is just an example, okay? So don't hold me to everything. But again, I'm just trying to show you the workflow of the portal. The construction type of the building. Double check this, confirm this. When you first get the insured, have them to tell you. But if not, our system actually found out what kind of building it is or whatnot, all right? For the purpose of this situation, we're going to say it is a 1-story building, okay? And we're going to say that it is 5,000 square feet. I said that because there are some guidelines regarding how many stories and things of that nature. So we just want to make sure that that is like that, all right? Year built is 1920. So it's an older building. So because it's an older building, look at some of the questions. Has the roof been updated in the last 20 years? We're going to hit yes. Has electrical, plumbing, roof, and HVAC been updated? We're going to hit yes. Does the building have an automated sprinkler system? I'm going to hit yes, right? And then we'll hit next, all right? Utility service time element. Again, it allows you to see what does that mean. Even right here, when it comes down to BIEE, business interruption, extra expense, we'll keep it there. Wind deductible. For accredited BOP, wind coverage is required, okay? For Blackboard BOP, wind coverage is required. So because this is in New York and New Jersey right now is still with our Blackboard carrier partner. So boom, we're gonna keep this the way it is, all right? Do I want equipment breakdown? I'm gonna hit yes. Would you like ordinance or law coverage? I'm just gonna hit no. Additional debris removal, why not put 25,000? And I hit next. Per occurrence, okay, boom, it lets you know what the per occurrence limit is. And then I'm going to keep it as it is. But it says, would you like specialty excess liability coverage? That's that additional. I'm hitting no, but remember I told you you can just hit yes, but we're going to hit no. Medical expenses, I'm going to keep it at 5,000. Damage to premise rented to you, I'm going to keep it at 50,000. As you can see, and go all the way up to $1 million. Okay, but we're going to keep it at 50. Include employee benefits liability coverage. I'm just going to hit no. Include hire non-owned auto coverage. I'm going to hit no. Now remember, hire non-owned auto coverage is not available if the operation does delivery. Okay, so remember that. But we're going to hit no there.
Hey,
And
Damon, sorry
yep,
to interrupt you.
no problem.
It looks like Brenda has a question here. Do you require CS, I'm assuming it means burglary, for theft?
Say that one more time.
Do you require CS burglary for theft?
CS burglary for theft. Let me double check. I don't.
Central station burglary.
Yeah. I don't think so. I don't want to say yes or no. I'll double check that. Yeah, was that all the questions? Let me see something.
Yep, so far.
All right. Let's see. Okay, thank you. Employee dishonesty limit. Now remember, this $10,000 already provided in this enhancement. So with the BOP, of course, you get some bells and whistles. So you automatically already get $10,000, but you can always get more. So we are a sports goods store. I'm sure there's some important things in there. I'm going to put $25,000, right? We can include employment-related practices liability coverage. Again, it explains that EPL there. Include certified acts of terror coverage. I'm going to hit yes. Would you like to add an additional insured? Again, if you hit yes, boom, very simple. You can add it there. We're not going to do that today, but I'm going to hit no. If you like the waiver of subrogation, you can hit yes and name that person there, but we're going to hit no. And we're going to submit. As you can see, we are now submitting for the quote, and feel free to play this game while you're waiting. Some people like to do that. Why not? All right. And it is really processing the quote for us. And as you can see, I got a decline from here. Normally you would not get a decline, but it's missing ISO data. And also there's an underwriting issue, accredited location cannot be added to the Blackboard policy, right? So if you did get a declination, that's what you would get there. But if you did not get a declination, then you would then get a actual quote from that, okay? That is kind of a, there we go, thing for me there. Now, as you can see here, if it was quoted properly, a quote will generate there, and then you'll be able to download the documents right where you need them. And once the policy will be enforced, you can bind it here and view the details. And right there is where you'll get your business owner policy, and you'll just be able to download it. All right. So a quote will generate, you can download the quote, or you can get a business owner policy, and then you can just hit view details. And literally you can just download it right there, and there you have it. If you needed to endorse the policy, you can endorse it right there. And if you ever want to cancel the policy, you can cancel it right there. Okay. Now, a little surprise, but yeah, that's what happened. Okay, so we have our quotes. We understand how to download the policy. I showed you the support. So that's that. It really is a simple process. And like I said, it is a time saver. So if you receive your declination, you can receive it in the middle of quoting, you can receive it at the end of quoting. One thing I love about it is that for the most part, you won't waste time having to wait 2 or 3 days for an underwriter to get back to you while your insurer waits. Literally, you can do this on the phone with your insurer, right? That's how quick it is. And you can give them a quote and present them immediately. So yeah, that's it for this.
It looks like we have one question from Brenda. Do you offer blanket AI and a waiver of subrogation on BOP?
Yes. That's it. Yep.
Yes. Okay. Yeah, so I guess we can just wait a couple more minutes and see if anyone thinks of any questions that they might have that we didn't cover.
And if you get any questions, just literally go to our chat option, right? And let me just, well, I'll not share my screen now, but in the support tab that I showed you, there's a little bubble that says support at the bottom. You can click on that support bubble at the bottom and literally get a live person immediately. And any questions, you just chat with them right away and they'll be able to give you that answer.
And I believe that that button is available to you on literally any page that you're on in the website. So even if you're in the middle of a quote and you're like, I don't know what's happening, like I'm confused, you can just click on that button right there and someone can help guide you where possible.
Right.
All right, I'll give one more minute. Yeah, thanks everyone for joining us.
Brenda, thank you so much. And I look forward to seeing you guys quote and bind, and I wish you much success with us. Thank you so much.
Thanks everyone. Take care.